Welcome back to the Connected Podcast. I'm your host, Dallas Wilson, and this week we have a cohort member of the African American Board Leadership Institution, also a member of the local union 157, and the commander of the American Legion Pioneer Post 340, this wonderful establishment we are in right now. Welcome, Barry Turner.
Well, thank you, Dallas. Looking forward to this opportunity to talk and to be here.
Yeah. And we appreciate you welcoming us to the American Legion. This is our first interview outside of our space.
Okay.
So I felt like this would be a good opportunity to kind of get in a place that has some culture. And I want to jump right into that.
Okay.
Like, this place has been open for 95 years. You just celebrated that this past summer.
Yes, we
Can you
did.
tell me a little bit about stepping into that role this past February?
I came back to Terre Haute in the 80s from being in the service and living out in California. So coming back here was kind of like a natural progression to come to the American Legion, because this is where everybody hung out. We actually started in the building that we're in right now.
Mm-hmm.
It used to be a bigger place, but and we went from here to across the street. But anyway, it was just it's always been a mainstay of Terre Haute for African American people.
Mm-hmm.
And this is where everybody congregated and fellowshipped and got together and had a good time.
Yeah. So, I mean, when the spot opened up, you had to get in
Oh,
here.
well, yeah,
And, you know, and I'd imagine it has come with its challenges over the course of the past months. Yeah.
My cousin, Freddie Tompkins, he managed this place for almost 15 years. Did a great job.
Mm-hmm.
And he just took sick about this time of the year, last year.
Mm-hmm.
Did nobody expect to happen what happened? And he passed in February. Somebody had to step up and take over. And I'm not the most senior veteran. I am the most senior veteran that's still able to get around. We have senior veterans, more senior veterans, but they're 80, 85, 90 years, closer to 90.
They ain't at the wash shooting up jump shots, are they?
Right. So I just felt this has been my place. I consider this my place.
Mm-hmm.
So I just felt that I should step in and take control and keep. Like I said, we celebrated 95 years last summer. So it's not going to go down on my watch.
Yeah, it's a major.
It's going to keep moving. We're going to keep moving, and hopefully we can get better. We don't have the kind of participation that we used to have. Mm-hmm. We don't have the people going into the service and getting out of the service like we used to have. Mm-hmm. So we're basically operating on I think we got 19 active members as veterans, and we got maybe 40-some SAL, which is Sons of Allegiance, so guys whose fathers were veterans.
Yeah.
So we're kind of operating like that, and we're just maintaining. You know.
And what does it take to become a member?
You have to have served in one of the acknowledged wars to be a legionnaire. The Vietnam Era War, World War I, World War II. I think they're recognizing the Korean War now. I could be mistaken, but they're trying to incorporate all the battles that people have went overseas and fought. Mm-hmm. At one time, there was a time the Vietnam era veterans wasn't recognized because it wasn't what they called a declared war. Mm. But we've lost almost 100,000 people over there. I don't know why you wouldn't declare that a war.
Yeah.
But but I think we've had some people who done thought about it since then, and they said, look, with the number of people it was a war. So that's what it takes to be a legionnaire. Now, to be a Sons of a Legion, your father or your uncle or somebody in your immediate family should have served in one of the incursions. So that what it takes to be an SALA member. And then we have the auxiliary, which is sometimes the wives of the legionnaires or wives of some, and they're the women who help And if you know anything, it's hard to run any organization without a woman.
Uh-huh.
Women are the instrumental part
I
of
like how
any
you put that in
organization.
there.
You know what I'm saying? Instrumental part of an organization. When you got a bunch of men together, it's just something. But women kind of smooth things out. You know. So,
Every time I've attended here, it's been a great atmosphere altogether. You all got like themed nights too during the week.
we have what?
Themed nights.
Oh yeah,
like,
well Monday like Monday night we get all the older women. We got a Miss Georgie Bailey, 102 years old. She comes out every Monday night, play bid whist. We had all the women in here Monday nights. Monday nights is set aside for all the women, auxiliary women, and women to come in and play bid whist. And they was here at about 11 o'clock last night. And then we also have, if somebody wants to have a birthday party or we do, we 4th of July, we do things, we try to do things for the community. We have fireworks, Memorial Day, Veterans Day, we cook meals and we have food for veterans that want to come in and have a meal. I want to get more into giving back to the community. I want to be more involved in what happens with the community. We want to start. We had a great Christmas toy giveaway. We had we had 2 different spots that we gave Christmas toys to the kids this summer. I think we probably had over $1,000 worth of toys for the kids this Christmas. So, and then I just got noticed today from my local. You mentioned that I'm a member of Local 157. I was asked today to be a part of a Coach for Kids drive. So we're going to incorporate that in here too. So we're going to start having Coach for Kids. We're going to get some donations and stuff like that. We're going to give Coach to kids.
Very nice. And Local 157, that includes Todd Bolin, if I'm correct?
Todd Bolin.
Good. Todd and Tammy, great
Tom
people.
and Terry Bolin. Tom Goforth. Troy Bennett. It's been 40 years, almost 40 years, and there's a pipe fitter. So I retired, and now I'm the city plumbing inspector.
So you have this going, and what does it mean to be the city plumber? Like, how much of a commitment is that? Because we haven't even talked about the AABLI yet.
Oh, okay.
And I mean, it sounds like how is it 2 of you? Are you Batman at nighttime?
No. 35, 40 years as a pipe fitter. I traveled all over the country working. I've been from New York to California, Iron Mountain, Michigan to New Orleans, and I was away from home. And I've always wanted to give back something to the community. So now that I've retired, and the opportunity came up for me to get the city plumbing inspector job, I'm at home. And all these things just keep coming, and it's hard for me to say no to this. The Aubrey thing, I happened to be scrolling through my emails one day, and then there was accepting members for cohorts. I put in, got it. You know what I mean? So it's just kind of opening up. I think everything is God intended. Whatever's happening to me is the journey that I'm supposed to be on, and I accept. You know, I have thought at times that I'm a little overloaded, but I've worked 10, 12 hours on jobs as a pipe fitter, moving pipe around, construction jobs, and there's nothing that I'm doing right now that equals to that. You know, so it's just time consuming. You know what I mean? And I'm able to. I just feel good about contributing back to the neighborhood or the community.
I think I tell people all the time, you should try a blue collar job or a third shift at some point in your life. It just shapes your whole perspective.
Yeah, well,
you probably never sleep again. It's all naps after third shift.
Now that I'm retired, I still get up at 5 o'clock in the morning. And I don't have to be at work as the plumbing inspector. I don't have to be at work till 8. But I'm sitting in the parking lot quarter after 7.
Yeah.
It's just in my DNA. You know, I'm just so used to being up early, and it's hard to break that habit. You know what I mean?
I love how earlier you mentioned how this place prioritizes community.
Right.
Because, I'd always say that Terre Haute got, 60,000 people, but only like 1,000 people are involved.
Right.
And it's just so much opportunity. And I have seen you everywhere from the involvement you have put out there, the energy you've put out there, to be in those rooms and give your opinion and share your wisdom. And you've gotten it back. You've gotten that support and everything. And so I would like for you to speak to kind of where we are, where American Legion is located, and what the surrounding community may mean to you.
Well, I grew up in the 50s and the 60s. We had a thriving black community, North End, South End. We had black businesses, black stores, black establishments. So we were a thriving black community. We were, and there was always people involved in the care and the giving of all communities. So that's where I get this drive, this need to. I grew up with that, and we're so spread out now. You could go from North End to South End and be amongst people that were doing things, barbershops, grocery stores. There was just so much going on back then, and we don't have anything now. So for this place here to be 95 years, but we're going to keep this going. We're going to keep giving back to the community. We're going to keep being involved in the community. We're going to keep embracing the community, because this is what we got. We're down to this, and as long as I'm here, we're going to keep this going.
Yeah, and you taking it on. You definitely taking it on.
Yeah. And we've had a lot of help. There's a lot of people who's been helped this. It's not just me. I'm just coming in after some other great people that I consider great. Maybe people might not know them, but Donald Ross, James Rice, Freddie Tompkins. There's a number of people who's been involved in this that has kept this going, even when we thought we was gone. When we had to go from over there to back here. It was just the steadfastness of the people that refused to let this place go. It's the reason why we're doing this interview today.
I see a lot of successful people who become a cohort member for the African American Board Leadership Institution. What does the day-to-day look like for being a cohort member? I mean, what are the things that you guys are talking about when having a round table? And also, is that like something organized by United Way by chance?
United Way. United Way put that on.
Okay, they're doing good stuff.
What was surprising to me about the cohorts, and this is the surprising thing. Very few people know about the history, the black history of Terre Haute. And there's a black history. And I was part of the second cohort. There was a cohort before I came in. Now they're on the third cohort.
Okay.
So, and the people that I was involved with knew very little about it. They didn't know this place existed. They didn't know that we had a thriving black community back in the 50s and 60s. So, and then even in talking with, I did a
speech at the Vigo County History Center. Yeah.
And it wasn't really promoted to where a lot of people came, but when in doing research for this, there was very few pictures, and I know there's 1,000 pictures somewhere.
Yeah.
Even though even back in the days, I know when you had them little Polaroids, you had to take it to Hook's Drugstore and wait 2 weeks to get the pictures back. I know there's got to be, but very little history about this black community here, and that bothers me.
Yeah.
Because that's history lost. But I know it's here somewhere. How we get it back, I don't know. But I know somebody's sitting on a gold mine. But the thing
maybe
about
Dr. Reynolds. if it's anybody sitting on a gold mine, the information is Dr. Reynolds.
She's persistent, though.
Yeah, she is.
She is persistent. I got love her for that. The thing about it, I think, especially in this community, what I find out is, and I do a lot of looking in this community and a lot of feeling in this community. When we get old, when black people get old, we tend to close up. We tend to stay within ourselves, knowing that we're sitting on a gold mine of history, and there's probably reasons behind that. We've not really been acknowledged, or contributions haven't really been acknowledged. This is how close we were. You could almost see somebody walking down the street, and by the way they looked, you could tell what family they were from. That's how close a community we have. It's not like that anymore. There's people. We got people from everywhere here now, and you got to get out and mingle. You got to get out and interact. A lot of people, and this goes for some of the people that's born and raised here. We come up, we start off at the American Legion, and when we're young, and we come out, we have a good time. And a lot of people become successful. After they become successful, they move on. They might not move out of the city, but they move away from the American. And then they look back at I don't do that no more. I don't go there no more. I don't participate. I'm not, they kind of look down. And I refuse to be one of them people.
So with that in mind, do you like the reoccurring Terre Haute Day message, come home?
Oh, yeah. This is my thing. And I just come, we were taught as kids to go out and make your living, to go out and be who you're going to be. They didn't tell us to bring it back home. And that's what we're missing. People go out and become successful, but they don't bring it back home. I know people from here that said, I'll never come back to Terre Haute.
Yeah.
There's people here that need you. You know what I mean?
The community needs it. This community needs more investment.
Right.
Because the honest truth is, it's just not a lot in the pot.
Right. It's not. Well, I think we're just starting to grow as a city. There's been a Terre Haute is Terre Haute, and we cannot get away from the fact that Terre Haute it's always been a divided city. It's always been a divided city.
It's a identity that honestly a lot of people don't want to shake off because it's like the Terre Haute's place in history is having that kind of Sin City like feel to it.
Right.
Literally decades ago. Decades ago. And now we're an absolute far cry from that. We got Brandon Sackbun in that mayor position, and I mean he is getting people working on a million different things at a million different times, and it's working out. We're seeing all of the progress. We're seeing the funds put back into the community, and I mean, I feel like there is a momentum here right now. You feel the momentum from the involvement, and I feel like it's 100 youths who are getting these opportunities to put their perspective out there, to put their experience out there, and
it's welcome. And the thing about it, it actually feels like we're involved in it now. As like before, the mayor was Ralph Tucker back in the 50s and the 60s. The only time they would come down to our neighborhood is election day, and they'd bring. Back then, they'd bring beer and hot dogs and set up at the park and give you hot dogs and beer for your vote. You know what I mean? And that would be the only time they come in and talk to us. Now we got a mayor that's actually committed. He was at our 95th anniversary celebration. We talked about his mom. His mom is a staunch supporter and a contributor and a participator in our community. It actually feels like somebody cares about us now. As before, we just a vote, and then after you get the vote, you ain't got nothing else coming. You know what I mean? So you can feel the change. You know what I mean? And we still got a long ways to go. Because there's still some pervasive attitudes.
Yeah, and that's what I wonder about being somebody who's from somewhere else. I think about how, yes, we are having an influx of resources,
Yeah.
things to do, places where tourists can pop up,
Right.
convention center, casino, what have you. And so we're seeing the community start to cultivate fruit
Right.
for the most part. But now it shifts to the people. Now it shifts to the citizens of Terre Haute. Okay, now you have a governing body, a local governing body that is representing your best interests.
Right.
They are prioritizing your resources with the funds that they're getting from grants from this and that.
Right.
What are we going to do with it?
That's the thing. But see now, just like it's taken, I won't say it took a different person to bring about the change you just spoke about.
Mm-hmm.
Now, and there's people who still think that don't nobody care about them. Don't nobody care about what they think. And even if you sit down and talk to them, you're just going to take what I say and you're going to go and do what you want to do anyway. It's still not. So it's going to, and it may not be in my, but it has to start somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
So we got a starting point.
Mm-hmm.
May not be in my lifetime, but it's good to know that we've got a starting point now.
Mm-hmm.
All right. And it's going to be up to the people to make the people have to make the change too.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? If the city government made a change and electing Brandon, and who was in a lot of people's minds a long shot, but it happened.
Mm-hmm.
So if that can happen, this can happen too. I don't know if it's going to happen as quick as that happened, but you see how long it's been. This change has been a long time coming.
Mm-hmm.
And even with all the hooping and the hollering and the complaining and the finger pointing and we need change and we need to see this and we need to see this, and it didn't happen. And now we got a different person in there and it's happening. And I'm pretty sure he's getting some pushback on that too. I'm pretty sure he is. You know what I mean? So
people talk about what liberalism is in the Midwest. It's like, well, it's kind of liberal conservative is what it is.
More conservative.
It ain't like Western liberal.
No, Indiana. Indiana. You got to see Indiana. Yeah. That's Indiana. Indiana is. You talk to people. Indiana is the last state to get on board about anything progressive.
Yep. Mm-hmm. And that conservatism gets deep ingrained in your logic. It really does, and that's about all things. So change is always a far cry, even if it's on the smallest scale.
And then you always got people fighting to change. I used to be master of my Masonic lodge, and there was a friend of mine who was going to go through his 3 degrees of Masonic, of the Blue House, and he wanted me to attend his first degree. And he lives down in southern Indiana. I said, you need to go talk to somebody. Tell them who I am, tell them what I am. Then come back and tell me what they say. And he come back a couple weeks later and he was crying. He said, so you can't come. I'm master of my Masonic lodge. And it's a different, and because that's the separation between black and white. Even in Masonic lodges and stuff like that. So and he didn't go through it. He said, I don't. He said, if that's where you feel, then I don't want to be a part of it.
Do you feel hopeful for where race relations are heading with the younger generations, millennials, Gen Zers?
I'm always hopeful. I'm always optimistic. I am, and sometimes I feel like it's a waste of time. I tell people, there's nobody in my lineage, my mother, my grandfather, my grandmother, my great-great-great-aunt, has never known what it's like to be free. The freedom that a white person knows when he walks out of the house.
The freedom that comes with privilege.
Right. My daughters, I got great-grandkids. They don't know that. How long is it going to take? I don't know how you get rid of that. That's so inbred and so much in your DNA that you're so cautious. When you walk as a black man, when you walk out of the house, you on your P's and Q's. You don't know who you got to be depending on your situation and your place or where you're going. You have to change who you are
Mm-hmm.
and how you talk and how you approach a person, because you don't know how you're gonna be taken. And I know, and the reason I say this because I've worked in a trade that's been mostly white people, and I've had some great people too. So don't get me wrong, had some great people. They didn't care. I would love not to care how I'm going to be taken or what's going to be expected. I would love to have that kind of freedom. Walk on. I've worked in this trade. I worked in that trade for 40 years, and every job that I went on, and I've probably been on 100 different jobs, and every job I went on, I had to prove myself.
Mm-hmm.
It took me 3 or 4 weeks. Sometimes, sometimes it never happened to where I got comfortable.
Mm-hmm.
And there's people that walk in, hey, I'm here. You know what I mean? And take me as I am. I can never walk on a job like that.
There was a
So,
standard. There's a higher standard.
Right. I would love to be able to not. Here I am.
I like to stay optimistic because I feel that education is the true enemy of bigotry. Like, you got to be delusional. You know, you got these different forms of bigotry, sexism, racism, however you want to put it. You got to be absolutely delusional to go out in the world and become so cultured and still hold on to all of these biases.
Right.
You know, it's absolutely overwhelming. So I'm optimistic that with all of these new instruments, all these new apps, all of this new stuff for getting to know each other better and learning, which a big part of it is learning each other's stories. Right.
Willing to learn each other.
Yeah. All of these opportunities for learning each other's stories will help cultivate, a more thorough understanding.
400 years. How much longer? I mean, how much longer is it going to take for you to look at me and I look at you and say, okay, we're equal. I don't care what color you are. I don't care what color you are. I don't care where you come from. That you're going to accept me as a human being.
Mm-hmm.
Don't look at me as my color. Don't look at me as my sexual orientation. Don't look at me as my belief. I'm a human being. I'm a child of God. How long is it going to take?
Mm-hmm.
For that to happen? I'm a forever, like I said, I'm a forever optimist. But God, you know what I mean? I'm just, and I know it ain't. I've already submitted to the thing. It's not going to happen in my lifetime. I'm not going to never have that feeling of freedom.
Mm-hmm.
I know I'm not. But I got 2 great grandsons. One's 6, one's not even a year old yet. And I would love at some point in time for them to feel that freedom, that acceptance, that not judged by the not by the color of your skin, but the content of your character. You know what I mean? I would love that. It's too late for me. It ain't gonna happen. Not for me, because for one, it's too embedded in me that I'm gonna be suspicious of everything that happens now. You know what I mean? It's just there, and that's good. But because I've learned to live with it. People know that if you're with me, then you're good. That's known.
In science, chemicals are just going to react how they react.
Right.
And the only error is human error.
Right.
And if it ain't racism or sexism or some other way of bigotry, it's going to be something.
Right.
And so I just hope that as a people, as humanity, we all can collectively heal in a way where we don't have to project our fears onto others.
Well, there's no profit in peace. Money is not the main thing, the main objective of everything. We'll never get there. If everything is if the power of money is more powerful than humanity, we'll never get there. And that's what everybody want to be richer than the next person. It don't make no difference how much money you got. Where's your comfortable level? Everybody can't be rich. Everybody want to be rich.
Mm-hmm.
But again, like I said, there's no profit in peace, man. So
yeah, how that works out is if for somebody to have more, somebody else got to have less.
right, well, that's how we live. That's
Yeah.
how we live.
Yeah.
That's how we live. So,
Mm-hmm.
and that's the world. But that's not just here. That's the world.
It is.
That's the world. So,
Yep. And if you have a message for the next generation, with progress in mind, what would it be?
it has to start at the basic level. It has to start at ground zero. I got to look at you, and you got to look at me, and know that we're equal people. We're equal. We're all children of God. We come from that basic level. I don't care what you can't take your billions to the grave with you. So when they all gonna throw dirt on you and me. You know what I mean? They gonna put you in the same ground they gonna put me in. And so when you take your last breath and I take my last breath, we're equal. I would like for that to be in the beginning and not the end.
And with that, we would like to thank Hope Body Bar by Skin Spa for helping put this on. I'd like to thank Classic Man Cuss for getting me right. We'd like to thank Barry Turner here for dropping wisdom on us. Thanks for tuning in to the Connected Podcast. You just tuned in to the Connected Podcast. Please like, share, subscribe, comment, maybe a member of the community you'd like to hear more about. If you want to go the extra mile, click the donation link below. If you'd like to continue listening, click right here. Thanks again for tuning in.